Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, I think we need to have a chat about some promos that I am a big fan of. You see, there's this fun thing going on over in China with all of these weird stamps. And look, I'm a man who cares deeply about the quality of the stamps that we are getting in various Pokemon products. And I told you guys the other day, for like the bazillionth time, I told you that there's a new GameStop stamp coming. It's a Suicune. I don't like it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's rubbish. I have been really consistent and clear about the fact that I think the GameStop stamp it's the worst stamp. It is just the worst stamp. And, I mean, it looks better on the Suicune than most cards, because at least it's bright and you can see it. As a colorblind dude, I can assure you some of the darker cards, you whack a GameStop stamp on there, it might as well be unstamped. I'm an unimpressed wussy. I think I've made my point. Also, if anyone's wondering, the best stamp, Project Piplup. If you're looking for the best stamp we've ever had, that was the Project Piplup stamp. It was a promo that was given out in Japan in various places, but it was also given out just buying stuff on the Pokemon Center. That is the best stamp we've ever had on a card. If you disagree with me, there is a comment section. Might I invite you to go and have an argument yourself about what the best or worst stamp ever might be? But the point I'm making here is, I don't like the GameStop, but I do like these new Chinese stamps. And I know not everybody agrees with me, and that is absolutely fine. Now, I'm going to start off with my favorite of them, which you're going to be getting at the Pokemon official card gym, Shenyang. It's Ice Cube. What I adore about this, and adore is most definitely the correct word, what I adore about this is the fact that what they've basically done is they've just made an image of Pikachu and the relevant Pokemon. In this case, we're talking about Ice Cube. And they've put the Pokemon card logo, and then they've whacked it on an existing card. And yes, I know for some people, it's kind of a big white square posted over the art. I know some people aren't going to like this. It's certainly not done as elegantly as, say, the Piplup stamp I showed you a moment ago. Understand all of this entirely. I don't care. I think it looks cool. And the stamp alone is interesting. No, the placement isn't perfect. Yes, the fact that it's just a big white square is actually cheeky, a little bit annoying. I still don't care. The reality is, it is a cool, unique, unusual stamp, and what I really like about this is for the Pokemon official card gym Shenyang. It's opening later in the year, and it is just a card which is given out when you go there. It basically means that these card gyms, local stores, well, bigger stores, but still Pokemon TCG stores, they basically have their own promo card for each store. I think that is ridiculous. For what it's worth, this is the Ice Cube from Paldea Evolved. The best thing about it is free energy 100, discard all energy from this Pokemon, and then it takes 100 less damage next turn. No, it's not particularly good. It's been out for a while. It's one of those cards where if it was good, we would know that it is good. We don't know that it is good. Therefore, it's probably not good. It's just awesome, though. I'm a big fan. I think this is cool. But there are a bunch of others. Maybe you're more of a fan of Scovillain, in which case might I suggest you get over to the Pokemon official card game Changsha, where you can get this Scovillain. And again, the consistency here is off the charts. Because what we've got is a Scovillain card, and the Scovillain card has a stamp, which is Scovillain and Pikachu, and then the Pokemon card logo in Chinese, simplified Chinese because that's mainland China, and it just looks really cool. I struggle to point out quite how much I adore these. I kind of hope that I need to look up how much these actually cost and how easy they are to get hold of, because I would love to keep a little collection of these. I've shown you a bunch of these in the past. There's 5 new ones which are coming out, which is why I think it is time we had another chat about them. And yeah, if you go over to Changsha, and I'm going to apologize in advance for any mispronunciations, you get yourself the Scovillain. The Scovillain, if you're wondering, is the one that came around in Obsidian Flames. It is both grass and fire type, and free energy 100, not affected by resistance. They haven't chosen the most playable cards, I'm going to be honest with you, but I just think design-wise these are awesome. How about another one? How about I show you Pokemon official card Jim Chongqing? Or something along those lines. Again, my Chinese pronunciation is probably terrible. Now, this one I really like, even though it is a little bit weird, because they've just gone for like a random evolving stage 1. They've gone for Fletchinder. Why Fletchinder? Don't know. No one really likes the stage 1s. Don't care. It actually got the really nice Kurimitsu artwork. It's the one that came around in Paldea Evolved. And as a fun fact, in Paldea Evolved, it did also get itself an illustration rare. So now we've got plenty of fun versions. I'm going to be controversial here, and I'm going to say that the optimal version of this, if it's legal for play in your area, which obviously in Europe it's not, I think the stamped version is. Once again, it is Fletchinder, and it's Pikachu, and it's a card game logo on a stamp whacked on the card. I would love to know who is choosing the mascots for these Pokemon card gyms over in China, because the 3 I've shown you so far today, I've shown you Fletchinder, Scovillain, and Ice-Q. And Ice-Q is cool, one of the best Pokemon of its generation, but is anyone looking at these 3 Pokemon being like, oh man, they are powerful Pokemon, they chose good? I'm just guessing no. Of course, with it being an evolving stage 1, we don't expect very much from it playability-wise. Single energy, 50, 10 to itself. It's not exactly a big powerhouse card, and I think that's okay. It just looks cool. And then, speaking of evolving stage 1s, which make no real sense, but I don't know, let's go with it anyway, we got Charger Bug. We've got an actual Charger Bug promo coming in here. Again, I don't really understand why they went for Charger Bug. And again, I don't really care. I just think it looks rather lovely. It's the one that came around in Temporal Forces, 2 energy 60. And again, this one does have an illustration rare. I don't think there's any real pattern here. It is a bit weird that the 2 random stage 1s also happen to be stage 1s that got illustration rares in their respective sets. Is that a coincidence? Did they go, well, if they're good enough for illustration rares, they're good enough for these stamped promos? I would like to know the answer to that question. I don't think anyone's ever going to tell me, but I would still like to know. And essentially, you go to the card shop, the gym, as it's opening, and you collect those cards. It's very cool. There was one that was shown off a little while ago now, a couple of weeks ago, and that is in Shanghai. Okay, I've told you my Chinese pronunciation is poor, but it is the Chinese Wuja Chang. I'll put it on the screen, you can see it on there. But it is, again, weird kind of Pokemon. It is Pikachu with Veluza. I again would like to remind you that these are just weird Pokemon choices, but I kind of love it. And playability-wise, this is the coolest of them. This is the one that came around in Paldea Evolved. As a fun little side note, this is the very first Veluza card ever printed. Yay. And what we got here is 4 energy, 120. But if you have no cards in your hand, you can use it for a single water energy. Now, you are then going into your next turn with 0 cards in hand, at which point things are getting a little bit awkward, and might I suggest it might not be the greatest plan known to man. However, I'm just saying, single energy 120 on a basic, not too shabby. China seems to keep doing this, and I think they're probably going to keep doing this. I adore the idea. And it's not really an idea, it's a reality. I adore the reality that when these new card shops open in China, They basically get a mascot Pokemon, which is always a slightly less usual choice, and then that mascot Pokemon ends up getting a promo card with an awesome stamp. It's weird, I don't really know why they do it, but there will be no complaints from me. I think it's awesome. But I have told you about all of that now, so now it's over to you guys. Tell me what Pokemon you would want if you could choose to see one of these stores. Tell me if you're going to be picking these up. Tell me if you think they're just a bit uninspiring. Tell me if you, like me, you think they're really cool. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at Diancie. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Ray of Light, who's been a supporter of ours for a long time now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching PTCG Radio.